$8.8 billion. That is what American banks collected in NSF and overdraft fees from personal checking accounts in 2023 alone. Not business accounts, not investment portfolios, regular checking accounts from people who were already running short that month. The 4 words are, "I'd like a reversal." Say those exact words to a customer service rep, and you've entered a completely different process inside the bank than any standard complaint would ever reach. Today, I'm going to show you how to make that call, how to get back every NSF charge from the last 12 months, and the one sentence you say, if they decline, that changes the entire conversation. The average NSF fee is $35. Some people absorb 3 or 4 of those in a rough year without ever being told they could simply ask for them back. I made this call. It worked. First try. There's an escalation step near the end of this that most people never reach, and that's actually where the most money gets recovered. That part comes in a few minutes. Worth staying for. NSF stands for non-sufficient funds. The transaction hits your account, the balance comes up short, the bank rejects the transaction and charges you for the rejection. $35. For that, some banks then added a daily maintenance fee while the account stays negative. A few of those in a difficult year and you've handed over $100, $140, sometimes more, in fees for the act of temporarily not having enough money, which, if you slow down and actually look at it, is a fairly confident product to build a business line around. There's been a lot of things getting more expensive lately. Groceries, rent, utilities, insurance, everything moving in the same direction at the same time, squeezing people from every angle at once. In that environment, $35 stops being trivial. And what makes the NSF fee particularly effective as a revenue mechanism is that it lands hardest at exactly the moment when customers are least positioned to push back. The people getting hit 3 or 4 times a year aren't doing it casually. They're running close to the edge. The fee finds them there and stays. Banks collected $8.8 billion this way in 1 year. That number actually went down from previous years, not because banks had a change of heart, but because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau started issuing fines large enough to make the math uncomfortable. Regions Bank paid $141 million. TD Bank paid separately, Santander and others. The regulatory pressure is documented and ongoing. The fees still exist at most institutions, and the mechanism for reversing them exists too, sitting inside every major bank system, attached to every eligible account, completely functional. It just doesn't come up in conversation unless you bring it up first. Every major bank runs an internal courtesy reversal system. Each account carries an annual waiver allowance, 1 to 2 reversals per year for standard accounts, more for premium or long-tenured customers. A rep can apply a reversal in under 2 minutes. The system flags it, documents the waiver, done. Reps are not trained to mention this. The training runs in the other direction. That is not an oversight at an institution that collected $8.8 billion from the specific fee category in a single calendar year. Here's the call, start to finish. Before you dial, pull your full account statement going back 12 months. The summary view most people look at almost always omits line item fee detail. Write down every NSF charge by date and amount. Having that list means you're not waiting on the rep to run the numbers. And it signals, from the first sentence, that you've done some preparation. That framing matters before you've said a single word about fees. Dial the customer service number on the back of your debit card. When a rep picks up, say, "I'd like to review the NSF fees on my account from the last 12 months and request reversals under your fee adjustment policy." You're not asking if the policy exists. You're naming it as a known fact, because it is one. That framing changes how the rep documents the interaction. You're already in a different queue before you've made your actual ask. Then say the 4 words, "I'd like a reversal." What that specific phrasing does is use the bank's own internal terminology. Reversal is the word inside the system, not refund, not "I want my money back," not "is there anything you can do?" Reversal. It signals you know the process exists. It moves the conversation out of the general complaint queue and into the formal fee adjustment workflow. Different documentation trail, different escalation path, measurably different outcome rate. The wording is doing structural work. It costs nothing to say it correctly. First-time requesters on accounts in good standing get approved roughly 75% of the time on the initial call. Follow the 4 words with, "I've been a customer for X years and this is my first formal request." Then stop. Do not fill the silence. That pause after your last sentence is where approvals actually happen. The rep is checking the account, reviewing the profile, deciding whether to authorize the waiver. Explaining further breaks the momentum. Let it sit. If the rep approves one fee and stops there, do not hang up. Say, I'd like to request a review of the remaining charges under the same policy. The default stopping point for most reps is one reversal per call. That is not the system limit. It is the path of least resistance for the rep. Most reps are authorized to waive 2 or 3 fees without escalation. The second and third reversal take the same 4 words, not a different argument, not more explanation. The same, ask, one tactic to watch for. Some reps pivot to a product offer when you push back, a credit card with overdraft protection, an account upgrade with a fee waiver built in. That is not a reversal of fees already charged, and it is not the same thing. If the rep goes to the product play, redirect directly. I appreciate that, but I'm looking specifically for a reversal of the fees already charged to this account. Keep the conversation on the documented charges, not on future products. Good moment here. If this kind of content is useful, a free subscription keeps it coming and genuinely helps the channel. There's also a membership option if you want to support a bit more. Members get videos that don't go public. Either way, back to the call. Because the next part is where most people leave the real money sitting on the table. If the rep declines additional reversals, ask for a supervisor. Say, I'd like to escalate this for a full account review. Nothing more. Supervisors carry broader authorization, more visibility into account tenure, and a clear understanding of what a formal regulatory complaint means for their documentation trail. The escalation alone changes what appears on their screen. If the supervisor also declines, say this sentence. This is the one that operates on an entirely different level than anything you've said so far. I'd like to file a formal complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and request written documentation of your fee reversal policy. A CFPB complaint takes 5 minutes online and costs nothing. Banks are required to provide a formal written response within 15 business days. The moment those words leave your mouth, the interaction enters a federal regulatory tracking system tied permanently to your account number. The fee that wasn't available to reverse 2 minutes earlier has a way of becoming available, with some speed, after that sentence. Nobody at a major institution wants a federal regulatory record attached to a $35 charge. For Canadian customers, the equivalent body is the FCAC, the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. I'd like to file a formal complaint with the FCAC and request written documentation of your fee reversal policy. Same structure, same institutional response pattern. The mechanism works identically on both sides of the border. 2 more things worth knowing before you hang up. Banks log every reversal request by account number. If you've had a fee reversed in the past, the rep can see it. It doesn't block the current request, but the framing shifts slightly. Instead of first formal request use, I'd like a formal policy review based on my account tenure. Length of relationship is one of the primary internal justification codes for authorizing waivers. 5 or more years with no prior formal complaints is a genuinely strong account profile. State it as a fact. While you have the rep on the line, if you've been a customer for 3 or more years, ask specifically about loyalty credits. Most major banks carry them. None of them mention them unprompted. These are periodic credits for long-standing customers. A direct deposit or fee offset, sitting in the system until someone asks. The question takes 15 seconds, while the account is already open in front of them. One more angle that most people miss entirely. If your bank has already moved to a no-fee model, Capital One, Citibank, and Ally all eliminated NSF fees between 2022 and 2024, mostly under regulatory pressure they saw coming. This call still applies to any fees charged before the policy changed. Retroactive reversals for long-term customers get approved more often than you would expect. The money already left the account. It just needs to be asked for. After the call, check your account within 48 hours. Reversals typically post the same business day, but occasionally take 1 full billing cycle. If the credit doesn't appear, call back with the rep's name and the call date. It is logged, and second calls on the same documented file move considerably faster than the first one did. $8.8 billion, one $35 charge at a time. From people already running short, sitting there unchallenged because nobody mentioned there was a documented process to ask for it back. Now you know there is. If this one saved you something, share it with someone who's had that $35 show up on a rough month. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.